Well, good evening and welcome to the KPEG Game of the Week, or as John Oliver would say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight it's the Lompoc Braves hosting the San Marcos Royals. My name is Greg Ratcliffe and I am alive and well, thank you very much, broadcasting live from Houck Stadium, where the 2-0 Braves are preparing to take on the 1-1 Royals from just down the 101. Just down the 101. That sounds like our slogan. Just this side of the 101. We're 100.9 KPEG. But I digress. The Braves take the field tonight undefeated, courtesy of a 44-7 victory over Nipomo last week. The Braves have now outscored their opponents by a collective score of 88-14 in 2 games. And we are going to pause for the national anthem. All right, great job by the Lompoc High School marching band. The Braves' opponent tonight, the Royals, lost big in San Ynez in their season opener, came back strong to get their first win of the year, a 35-19 victory over Morro Bay last week. So Lompoc hopes to keep the win streak and the momentum going, while San Marcos looks for the upset tonight. Braves head coach Andrew Jones shared his thoughts with me about last week's victory and what he's looking for tonight. Let's listen to what Coach Jones had to say when we spoke yesterday.
Okay, I'm here with head coach Andrew Jones. Coach, last week you came up with another strong win, knocking off Nipomo 44-7. Now let's talk defense first. Your guys gave up their first defensive touchdown so far this year, but beyond that, I think you'd be very pleased with their performance.
Yeah, no, defensively, we were able to stop the run, kind of the game plan, and make that young sophomore quarterback try to beat us. I thought we played really well. We just got to do a better job of when the younger guys, the 2s and 3s, get the opportunity to come in and play. They got to have a little bit more sense of urgency and not give up, a touchdown, especially, a long one like that. You want them to earn it, you want them to drive down and score and not get a long run like that. So, hopefully that gets fixed. But I thought Jelani and Ruben played well inside. Leandre had another solid game. Brian Morgan was able to get an interception. And then obviously Jimmy is kind of the QB in the back there. So it was a solid defensive performance.
I'd agree with that. Let's talk on the offensive side for a second. You had another productive night, obviously, with 44 points. You've got a lot of options these days offensively, but Manzo's proven to be quite a weapon, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's no secret anymore. He had a productive year last year. He turned it on late there, especially in that last game. He runs the fly sweep well, and he's kind of quietly extremely quick. You don't really think he's going to run by you, but he does. And so he's definitely an extra weapon, especially when they try to throw an extra safety over the top of Shamar. Kind of leaves him in a one-on-one situation. And then, if they do give us a two-safety look, then we obviously can go to our ground game.
And speaking of which, it was good to see Dallas get some touches too.
Yeah, no, Dallas is his hand's been kind of jacked up. Hopefully he can, kind of wear off the rust a little bit. It's been 9 to 10 months since he's had, more than a few carries, coming back from the ankle. And then obviously with the hand issue, I think with him, it's just, getting the more reps he can get, the better he'll be. There was a couple runs on film where it was like, he probably would have scored if he just would have hit it, So, we're working on that. We got the weapons between, Dallas, Toa, and Ruben. Xavier's, playing efficient right now. You also got Leandre and Ryan out there at receiver if we need them. And then obviously throw in Shamar and Manzo. We've got enough to, keep everybody honest.
Yes, notice one issue last week we had was penalties. We had back-to-back unsportsmanlike conduct calls, which is pretty untypical for us. What was the deal there?
Yeah, just a lack of composure, extremely disappointing. I know the first one was pretty legit. The second one, I couldn't get any clarity on it. It was more of our guys talking amongst each other to, knock that off and let's just move on and play football. The refs overheard them talking to each other and threw a flag on them. So tacked on 15 more, and then we had the 15 on the pass interference call. So, basically we've been doing our penalty run, which is we're conditioning extra for the amount of penalties, So if they have 5 yards in penalties, it's not that bad of a run. But when you have 100, it's not good. So honestly, to be a great football team, you got to be able to play smart and you got to be able to keep your composure. And right now we're just a good team. That's what we are. When you get tested, they literally got a first down on us against the first group, and the very next play, unsportsmanlike, so like we went through a little bit. They got their first down off of us against that first team defense because we let them go back in for one series. That's what bothers me right now is just kind of we got to continue to improve and get better with our composure. Or, we'll sit there in a semifinal game and have the lead and start pointing fingers and things start getting, and then boom, we start doing good. We retake the lead and then, so we got to keep our composure or we'll be out in the second round.
That one's hard to get over, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's talk about San Marcos this week. They lost big to San Ynez in the opener, but bounced back to beat Morro Bay last week. What else do we know about the Royals?
Well, they come off a very exciting win. They hadn't won a game in a long time. For us, it's just we're trying to improve each and every week, and we're treating everybody the best we can like it was a championship style game. This morning we took a look at last year's film, and yeah, we won, and we won pretty handily, but we had penalties here, blocking the backs here, negated runs, and so there was a lot of, issues that I showed them on film, like, hey, let's play a clean, smooth game and go from there. But San Marcos is going to be in our league next year. You got to tip your hats to them because if you go from past the Robles all the way down to the Santa Barbara County and you go through the list of teams, when we're doing our schedule, the guys that are on their schedules were the guys that were like, yeah, we want to play you. The guys that aren't on our schedule are the ones that didn't want to play us, So when their coach took over, he said, I want my team to know what it's like to play one of the better teams in the county, so let's play. And I was like, and we didn't have any other options at the time, and so you got to tip your hat to them, and those guys will be ready to play. They forced us to punt forced us to punt a couple times last year, and we're definitely going to respect all of our opponents and give them our best shot.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up with the injury report like we always do. Unfortunately, we saw Jacob Beachy go down last week. First, what's his status?
Beachy's got a mild MCL. They think it's probably a bruise. So he's going to be probably out maybe 2 weeks. We're going to make sure he's 100% before he gets back and take our time with him. But right now he's pretty much the guy that'll be out. Connor's wrist, he'll be back probably in 2 weeks. And I think that's it right now.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for your time, and good luck against San Marcos.
Well, back live now at Houck Stadium. I'm joined, as always, by the Statmeister himself, Mike Loney. Mike, this one looks a little one-sided on paper, but there's a reason why they play the game. What do the Royals have to do to be competitive here tonight?
Well, in the last 25 games between these two teams, Lompoc leads the series 20-5. They are 29-19 overall in this series, going back to 1959.
That's dominant.
And when you consider that San Marcos won 9 of the first 10, it gets even more so.
Well, we are underway here. San Marcos will kick off a low squib kick to start the game, fielded at the 30. Sweeping out here to the near side, trying to get to the corner, and makes the corner, out to the 40, to the 45, and still on his feet at midfield, and finally pushed out of bounds.
Devin Villalobos.
Number 3, Devin
nice return.
With the return of the kick from number 32.
Of about 25 yards.
He was one of the men on the second line, and he took that just about the 1930. I'm already wasn't it, Greg? At the Lompoc 30.
So the Braves say he stepped out of bounds just across midfield at the San Marcos 49-yard line. So the Braves will start on the Royals side of the field to get things underway here tonight. The usual cast of characters out for the Lompoc Braves.
Yeah. Except Jacob Beachy is not in there at center.
Toa Tau will take the first carry, weaves his way through traffic, breaks a tackle at the 25. Now it's a foot race, and goodbye, Toa Taua. Touchdown, Braves.
Touchdown, Braves. Number 35, Toa.
Well, that didn't take long, did it?
No, it did not.
One play, 49 yards for Toa Taua, and the Braves are on the board.
And that'll do it.
That was a terrific job by the...
And it took the Braves a whole 25 seconds to score, Greg. And they've got the swinging gate operative tonight. I think that's the first time we've seen it.
I believe so.
Ruben Cortez lining up at the quarterback spot before dropping back to...
Oh, we got a flag down. This is going to be some sort of a procedure for against the Braves. Yeah.
And we got that sick bird again, that Yell Eagle procedure.
So the first time we see the swinging gate on the point after, and it didn't work too well. So they'll back up the Braves 5. Ball now sitting at around the 7 to 8 yard line, and they'll line up traditionally now. Jose Silva ready to kick from the hold of Ruben. Kick is away. And long enough, but wide to the left. Wow.
The extra point goes wide.
So a quick score by the Braves, but the PAT comes up empty.
We'll see if that costs them.
This particular case, I'm not entirely worried about it.
Yeah.
11:35 left here in the first quarter. Braves up early, 6-0.
Well, if the two preceding games with the freshman and the JV are any indication, then this one is going to be not real close.
I understand those were a little lopsided as well.
The freshman won 62-0, and the JV won 39-0 with a running clock most of the second half. So I guess you could say that San Marcos is gradually showing improvement in the score, but that's still like a 21-0.
Well, collectively, that's over 100-0 in 2 games.
101-0.
Yeah. That's ugly.
Yeah.
Okay, so very quickly, the Braves out to kick off after their early score.
Is off, and that was
Short kick fielded at the 20 and then flipped back to the deep back at the 15. And he'll get wrestled down close to the 20-yard line where the initial catch was made. Right at the 20, they'll spot it. 1st and 10 for the Royals from there, trailing 6-0 early.
Following up at number 8 for San Marcos, brought out to the 20-yard line.
A whole 29 seconds into the game here. One of the officials was up pregame, as is the custom here in the press box, talking to the timekeeper and the scoreboard operator, talking about the possibility of a running clock in the 4th quarter. I suggested it might be a little earlier than that.
Well, we've certainly seen that in other games so far this year.
Running play to start things off for the Royals. Try the right side of the defense. And
is that what that was?
Yeah. So they tried. Loss of about a half a yard. We'll be generous and call it 2nd and 10.
-0, and that was number 3 for the Royals, Emmanuel Acevedo. About the only thing he got was a lot of hard hits from a guy of guys wearing blue.
Yes, that's going to be a habit, I think, tonight. From the shotgun, quarterback keeper. Back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Yeah, and the Braves kept the quarterback.
So 3rd down and 10 after 2 unsuccessful running plays. Looking at the Knox Stadium turf, Mike, it's getting a little dry in spots.
Yeah. I thought we might get some rain tonight, but I guess we're facing a deluge on Sunday night.
To the air. Pass crossing route complete and down at the 36-yard line.
44, Tommy Schaefer on the reception.
Tommy Schaefer on the catch. And that'll move the chains for
stopped by Shamar Savage. Schaefer is one of the big 3 for the Royals. It's kind of interesting. You know, Luis Messino and Jacob Villarreal, who was a quarterback, but he's been dinged up a bit. And so tonight the quarterback is Iro Sosa, number 10.
Back to the running game, straight up the middle for nothing at all, maybe a yard. And Mike, this is probably, I'm going to gamble right now. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is the only time tonight we're going to be able to say this. San Marcos has more first downs than the Braves do.
Ooh. Yeah, they're in total of 1.
No, the Braves don't have any.
But that seems a little unfair for those of us looking at math stuff, that your 3 guys are 6 and 7 and 44. It obviously should be number 42.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's the symmetry? 1 man in motion. The pitch to the motion.
Yeah, it looks like
Shamar Savage grabs him by the jersey and gets some help to finally bring him down in the backfield.
Yeah.
Savage there first, however.
That was number 6. Luis Messino.
Luis Messino.
And really haven't seen a solo tackle by the Braves yet. There have been a lot of hitting. And looks like the passing squad comes out for San Marcos.
The ball back on the 32. It'll be 3rd down and about 14.
Yeah, Messino lost about 5 on that one.
2 receivers to the top side, 1 here to the short side of the field from the shotgun. Looking left all the way, throws this one incomplete over the head and through the hands of the intended receiver at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and more importantly, over the head and through the hands of one of the Braves defensive backs who couldn't quite get it, and I think he hit it just enough to mess up the guy behind him who shot at it.
That was Tommy Schaefer, the intended receiver. Incomplete pass brings up 4th down and long, and our first punt of the night will belong to San Marcos.
So if he gets this off, they'll also be leading the Braves in number of punts and punt yardage.
Nice high kick.
Yeah, off after a
fielded at the 25.
one hopper.
As Johnny Manzo trying to get to the far side, picks up a big block at the 40, cuts it back in.
Oh, goodness.
Cuts it back to the other side. Now it's a foot race. Johnny Manzo's going to take this one to the house. Touchdown, Braves. Wow. We have a flag down at the 30. 2 flags down at the 30, as a matter of fact. And I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. It's coming back.
What a terrific run, though, by Manzo. Vision to see the field.
Leave that one on this highlight reel.
Regardless of the flag, that one needs to stay on the reel.
Yeah, and the flags were thrown at the San Marcos 30, so it's still going to be a substantial return.
Yep. Personal foul. Move the ball back 15 from the site of the foul all the way to the 45. Manzo's got to be going, "Arr."
And Manzo's going, okay, who was the idiot?
First and 10 from the 45.
Okay, so the Braves will back up to the San Marcos 45. The last time they started at the 49 and scored on the first play. See if they can duplicate that from the 45-yard line. First and 10, we've got 8:07 left here in the first quarter. It's Lompoc 6, San Marcos nothing. Braves have the ball. Nix under center, high formation. That is Ruben Cortez. Gets a nice gap across the 35 and down to about the 34-yard line before it takes 1, 2, 3 Royals to bring it down.
Nice pickup of 11.
First down.
And that is the first play from scrimmage tonight that the Braves have not scored on.
You're just full of pessimism tonight here. Check your
First and 10 Braves from the Royal 34-yard line.
Yeah.
Savage wide to the top. It's Manzo in the slot, now in motion on the sweep. The give is to Canley. He finds the corner, and he's gone down the near sideline. Nobody's going to catch Dallas Canley once he gets moving. Touchdown, Braves.
And Shamar Savage was about 10 yards inside of him, running down the field, and he saw Canley on the outside, and he just lifted his hands up above his head. It's like, I'm not blocking anybody. I'm not hitting anybody. I'm not holding anybody. I'm just out here.
Don't throw a flag on me. I'm not doing anything, taking up space. 12-0 now, Lompoc. Point after coming up.
I think there's a bit of a speed differential here, Greg.
Yeah. Canley just outran everybody. As soon as he hit the corner, he had, about 20 yards to go down the sideline, and he was gone.
Canley outran everybody. Manzo outran everybody. And Tala outran everybody. Well, everybody he hadn't already run over, but...
Okay, 7:46 left here in the first quarter.
We ever had a running clock in the first quarter, Greg?
I don't think I've ever had one
We'd
in
like
the
to thank
first.
Cheryl and George Bedford,
Late second, yes. But,
well, last week we had mid-second, so not even halfway through the second. It was 6:38, if I remember correctly.
Well, if the scoreboard is an indication, that extra point was missed as well. So I'm going to call it 12-0 Braves. We're going to take a moment and thank one of our sponsors, Tom's Restaurant. Thank you so much for Kim and her support of Lompoc Valley High School football and Lompoc Community Radio. Thank you so much, Tom's Restaurant. Once again, another kickoff for the Braves, fielded at the 8-yard line with a low line drive kick.
There's Messino
again, trying to find some room, gets over to the far hash mark, and it's good.
And a chest full of Braves.
Yep.
Led by number 24, it looks like. That would be Drew Williams.
Number 6, Louis Messino on the return.
Haven't called his number a whole lot.
Brought down by number 8,
good for Drew.
Jacob Hunt, amongst others.
I'm suspecting we'll see some substitutions here, not sooner rather than later tonight.
I would imagine so.
First and 10, Royals.
Their own 18. And
To the ground game they go, and it goes the usual way.
to the ground.
Nowhere.
And it quickly went to the ground.
Lost just a smidgen. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
The play results in a 1-yard loss, making it 2nd and 11 for the Royals.
Yes. Prior to the game tonight, I was getting some notifications from the emergency management folks looking for some severe weather tomorrow, Sunday night and Monday. So be prepared for that.
Yeah. In their first game against San Ynez, the Royals had 16 carries for 45 yards. And in the second game, they had 29 carries for 155 yards. Guess which one of those they won?
Number 44, Tommy Schaefer on the carry.
Well, another loss on this particular play, all the way back to the 15.
Devontae Henderson was the first through.
A big 3rd down and about 14.
Henderson was the lead smacker on that one. As Schaefer lost about 3.
Well, the Royals had much better success on the ground against Morro Bay in week 2 than they did against the Pirates, San Ynez Pirates. Pirates 2 weeks in a row, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. It's been very sporadic. Ooh.
Ball comes loose there at the 25-yard line. But
I think he bounced right back on top of it, though, and I do mean bounced.
He found a nice little gap there on the left side to pick up some decent positive yardage, but it'll come up short of the 1st down by about 3. So it'll be 4th and 3 from the 25, and a punting situation for San Marcos.
Again.
And once again, we see Manzo back deep for the Braves, about his own 40.
And this time he's saying, don't do anything stupid, guys.
Another nice kick, angled to the far sideline. Manzo will field it on the run. Now
guess
looking for some blockers. Here he comes on the near side. This could be another one. Midfield, gets away from one at the 40. Got to get past the kicker now. 25 down at the 18-yard line.
Kicker managed to slow him up enough for help to get there, and they cut him off, and the kicker managed to get him put down. But
another great return by Johnny Manzo.
It's like
I talked with Coach about how valuable a weapon that Johnny Manzo has become for him, and he agrees. He can do it all in a lot of ways.
5:02 remaining here in the first. And the Braves have progressively started in better and better field position.
Now we'll correct the score. Apparently the second PAT was good. In fact, it was 13
and we
to
got,
nothing.
Shamar Savage shifting around all over the field.
Now to the near side.
Right and left and right and left, and now
Canley in motion. Quick pass over to Savage, complete at the 15, cuts it inside, breaks a tackle, touchdown Braves.
Touchdown Braves.
And that was just too easy.
Savage.
Just a quick little stop and go route. And one stiff arm later, Shamar Savage is in the end zone. So it's 19 to nothing. The Braves PAT
is good.
True this time.
The extra point by Jose Silva is
5:05 left here in the first quarter. It's Braves 20, Royals nothing. This one going pretty much to script.
Yeah.
Let's thank Dr. Mark Wilkerson and all his staff over at Wilkerson Chiropractic. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining our team this season, supporting Lompoc High School football and Lompoc Community Radio. Thank you so much, Wilkerson Chiropractic.
And if you're the Royals, the script for tonight is a little bit like the last days of the Czars.
Mm-hmm. Did we talk about the possibility of an early running clock?
I believe we did.
Braves set to kick off once again. Another liner kick taken at the 10. It's kind of the usual spot these days. Messino on the return.
And
he breaks a tackle at the 20. Still going at the far side. Looked like he was stopped at about the 15-yard line and finally broke free and got all the way up to about the 34 before he brought down on the far sideline.
Brought down by number 84.
So that will give the Royals some decent field position to start. They'll start officially at the 33 with 4:55 left here in the first quarter. Braves up 20-0.
Royals begin their third possession of the game, and they've been improving their field position, but not nearly as much as Lompoc.
If the Braves are going to improve it next time, they're going to have to start at the goal line, I think.
Yeah, just about.
From the shotgun, low snap, it's on the ground, finally picked up. Finally going to get, there's a flag down, and the quarterback is down as well.
Yeah, well, a lot of things happened on that play, and none of them were good for San Marcos.
That's exactly right. The play ends at the 28. The flag is at the 30. That's in the area where you're going to find an offensive hold. Going to be my guess. They're marching the ball back 10 yards. Hey, I got one right.
The flag on the play
moves the ball back to the 21-yard line. Good news is, for the Royals, it's still first down.
Back to the 16-yard line. First down.
Bad news is it's
correction, 21-yard line.
First down and a long ways.
Yeah.
The Royals will send one receiver wide to either side. They'll operate from the shotgun once again. One man in the slot.
Two wide to the
go to
right
the ground
side,
game.
And they're trying to run behind that, and not a whole lot of success.
Just across the 25.
That was Jimmy Gardner slashing in there to put him down. That was Messino trying to get wide right behind those two receivers who were trying to push the defense down the field, and it was not terribly successful. He did pick up a few, but
it'll second down at about 17, it looks like.
Yeah, they usually don't have that on the chart.
All just across the 25. 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Braves up big early, 20-0.
Oscar Tenorio out there at left corner for the Braves.
Looks like the Royals will call a timeout. Discuss things here with second and long. Stops the clock with 3:53 left here in the first. Braves leading 20-0.
Rocks and mountains. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of this amazing 2017 Chevrolet.
That'll give us an opportunity to thank Box Shop Bob. Thank you, Bob, from the Box Shop. Appreciate your support. Always count on Bob. Been a good supporter of all things Lompoc for a long time. Thank you for your support of high school football and local community radio. Non-profit community radio. The Box Shop.
Braves doing something a little bit different this year. We mentioned the 39-0 win over by the JV squad. The coaching staff for the varsity is basically doubling up as the coaching staff for the JV this year, and they kind of swept everybody into the same group, and they practice together, and so.
Is there any relation to that and the absence of Coach Pacheco, you think? Is there a correlation there?
Oh, nice run.
Nice run down the near sideline. Now it's a foot race to the 50. He's got 4 Braves behind him. Can he catch him? Yes.
Coleman caught up with him.
Big gain all the way down to the Lompoc 10-yard line.
We're getting up a little bit.
Brought down by Leandre Coleman.
Took a block at the corner, got to the edge, and just raced down the sideline. Showing some good speed.
And Coleman showed some really good speed.
To catch him, you bet.
He kind of had to bump a couple of his teammates out of the way to clear a lane to get through, but
that takes the ball all the way down to the Lompoc 12-yard line. First down, Royals.
And Braves are looking at giving up points in the first half for the first time this year, Greg.
Well, the starters have not given up a point yet. That is in jeopardy right now. 2 wides, 1 to either side. And what do we got? Timeout?
Timeout, either.
Or delay. One or the other. Nope.
Yep, timeout.
Timeout to avoid a delay. That's called by the Royals. That's their second here quickly.
Timeout, San Marcos.
But they want to make sure and get this right. They may not get this close again.
Yep.
3:38, the clock says.
You can use this short timeout to head on down.
And if they can punch this in, they're still within a touchdown. And
all kinds of tasty treats in there.
Yeah, up to
within a couple.
We're also selling 50/50 drawing tickets once again tonight.
Braves have been scoring so fast, I missed it. I didn't really register that that last one. Okay, yeah, no. But they can punch this in. They're within striking distance anyway.
There you go. Well, thank Rick Frederick of Frederick Quality Plumbing for being with us tonight. Thank you, Rick. Lisa, we appreciate your support. I know we can always count on the Fredericks for being with us. Frederick Quality Plumbing, thank you very much for your support of community radio. Okay, so it's first down and 10 for the San Marcos Royals from the Brave 12-yard line. 3 receivers now, and flags flying as the snap gets off.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a good sign. False start. Royals, that'll back them up 5.
The flag is for a false start against the Royals.
So you get a big play.
Yep. So you want to be a coach.
5-yard penalty makes it first.
You get a big play, then you have to call a timeout, then you come back and cost yourself 5 yards. So that's not a good sequence.
It's not too bad if you're a Lompoc.
From the shotgun, quick throw across the middle.
Wide open.
Touchdown, Royals. Andrew Aragon with a quick catch in the middle.
They brought the fullback out wide and then had him run a quick arrow route, and he was wide open.
Hit right in stride, and the Royals are on the board. And as Chick Hearn would say, there goes the shutout. It's 20-6.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say the Royals are back in this?
You can say it. Doesn't necessarily make it so. But
how much credence would you give it?
As you can say it.
Okay, point after coming up. Good snap. Kick is away. It looks real nice, and it is up and good. So 3:32 left here in the first quarter, and the Royals are on the board. The first team to score against the Braves in the first quarter this year. It's Lompoc 20, San Marcos 7. Wow. All of a sudden, we got a ball game, Mike.
Yeah, that really reduces the probability of a running clock in the first half as well, Greg.
It does.
An additional note on, I almost called him Leandre Coleman. He comes in leading the Braves in tackles and sacks. 12 tackles in 2 games and 3.5 sacks.
That's some effort. We talked to Coach about him after game 1, about how he was in the backfield so quickly and just being all over the place on defense. That's certainly the case. He's very active on the defensive side.
Roy Grandy tried to block him with one guy, and that did not work.
Not going to happen
at all.
So it's 20-7. Lompoc leads here in the first quarter. 3:32 remaining. Greg Ratcliffe here with Mike Loney. Judy Baker back to spinning the dials over at KPEG Control.
Judy D
back with us. And the kick is away. It's a line drive taken over there on the far side at about the 18. Who is that? That's Shamar? No, that is Dallas. Dallas Canley gets across the 30 to the 35 and down at about the 36.
Number 20, Dallas Canley, brought down by number 3, Emmanuel Acevedo.
So the Braves will start on their own side of the field for the first time tonight, Mike.
Ball's at the 36-yard line. First
they
10
gave up a score, so they have to be punished for that.
First and 10 Braves at their own 36-yard line.
3:24 remaining here in the first quarter.
Nix from the shotgun. Tawa the deep back, offset eye. Manzo in motion. The give will be to Tawa. Breaks through the line. Breaks a tackle at the 50. And guess what? Toa Tawa is 10 yards ahead of the defense. Touchdown, Braves.
Tawa looks like he was in a convertible driving down the freeway, and everybody else was stuck in traffic.
In the course of 50 yards, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could see that. In over 50 yards, he put 10 yards distance between him and the defenders that were chasing him. He just outran everybody.
Yep.
Popped through the hole, and he was gone.
Popped through the hole, made 2 nice cuts to lose guys who weren't going to get them, and then wide right.
We have another kick miss, wide right this time.
The extra point goes wide right.
Silva struggling a little bit on the PATs this evening. But another quick score by the Braves, and it's now 26-7. And that takes us a little closer to the inevitable running clock. It's just a matter of, they say about the big earthquake, it's not a matter of if, but when. I think that's kind of how we are on running clocks tonight. 26-7, Lompoc. We can tell you about another one of our fine sponsors as the Braves line up to kick off. It's Hammond Overhead Door Company. Thank you so much. John and Marjorie up in Paso Robles, and Greg and the gang, Mary and everybody over at the Santa Maria office. Thank you guys for being with us in our broadcast tonight and all season long. Hammond Overhead Door.
St. Bonaventure leading St. Joe's 6-0 early on. Ooh, nice tackle.
Return out to about the 18-yard line.
Messino again, stopped by
Number 6, Luis Messino on the
Jacob
return,
Hunt.
brought down once again by number 84, Jacob Hunt.
And Jacob has been pretty effective on special teams tonight, Stefan.
We have a San Marcos Royal down at about the 25. Trainers will come out. He's moving around a little bit. Looks like he's going to get up.
The ball will be placed at the 18 of San Marcos.
And play stopped on the field. Clock stopped with 3:10 remaining. We're still in the first quarter here, folks. This is number 11, Tristan Wallace, the injured Royal, now sitting upright, which is a good sign.
Mm-hmm. It's a good sign when they let him sit up.
Yeah.
Kern Valley leads Templeton 7-0 in the first quarter.
Not a whole lot of action in the LPL tonight, Mike.
No. Probably a few of them are here watching this game.
Some bye weeks going on. Don't forget, folks, next week we have a special doubleheader for you. KPEG Radio will be back here at Houck Stadium on Friday as the Templeton Eagles come to town to take on the Cabrillo Conquistadors, our first Cabrillo broadcast of the season. And we'll follow that up on the very next night, Saturday, when we'll travel down to Santa Barbara City College to the beautiful venue at La Playa Stadium, where Lompoc will take on the Santa Barbara Dons. So tune in Friday and Saturday next week for a football doubleheader here on KPEG.
We've got people asking us, how is it 20? Braves scored touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. They did get an extra point that initially we thought had been missed, but
they still have come up with 2 missed extra points tonight. And it is 26-7 our score. And now, the injured player has been taken off the field, Tristan Wallace. That's good to see him off on his own power.
They did miss the last one, as you said, so it's 26-7.
The run play by the Royals stopped for no gain.
Number 44, Tommy Schaefer on the carry. Looked like it was number 20, Dallas Canley with that.
Yes, the first PAT of the night was missed
Second and
by
10.
the Braves, and this most recent one here after the last score was also missed. So what would normally be 28 is actually 26.
Yeah, so it was 6-7-7-6.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of symmetrical, but
Not desirable.
no.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 for the Royals. They are not in a hurry. Certainly not in a hurry up there. They do huddle, and they're just and a flag. Delay of game. Looks like they were almost.
The flag is for a delay of game against the Royals.
Interesting. They weren't even lined up, Mike. They were still in the huddle and drew a flag for delay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, 2:22 left. Still in the first quarter. 26-7. Lompoc on top. Now the Royals have come up to the line of scrimmage. They've had trouble getting plays set up here all night long. Take a couple of timeouts to avoid delay penalties. This time they just got called for it.
All at the 13.
Two wides. Draw up the middle. Nothing happening there. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. Oh, that's going to put it just across the 12. It'll be a third down and long. Third about 15.
And we're now getting a score, St. Joe 7, St. Bonnie 6. Oh, see if that holds up. DP, Dos Pueblos, leading Rigetti 7-0 in the second quarter.
Third down and 5. 3 receivers set for the Royals, operating from the shotgun. 1 man in motion. No snap, bobble, but got it. Backs up, throws quick, complete over the middle. It's caught in the backfield and finally gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard after that, and that's about all. The Braves are all over that one, Mike.
Tommy Schaefer on that reception, several Braves in on the tackle.
Schaefer again on the catch, but only about a yard on the play. And yet another Royal down on the field.
Yeah. DP now up 14-0 on Rigetti in the second.
Second injury of the night in this series for the San Marcos Royals. The trainers will come back out to take a look at this player who we cannot identify yet. Clock stopped now with just under a minute to go, 55 and change. Our score is 26-7. The Braves on top. Player still down just inside the 15-yard line.
This game is quickly turning into a morass.
Yes. Let's take a look at let's take a look at Lompoc's upcoming schedule. We told you that Saturday, a strange Saturday game. They'll be down at Santa Barbara City College to take on Santa Barbara Dons. Following week on the 22nd, they'll be over taking Rigetti here at home.
In case you're wondering why Santa Barbara is a Saturday game, Peabody Stadium, the home stadium of the Dons, is undergoing a multi-million-dollar renovation. And so they're using SBCC's LaPlaya Stadium.
Which is okay with me. If you've never been there, that's the prettiest venue you'll ever see for a football game.
And the parking is better, which isn't saying a whole lot, but it is better.
Javier Castillo was the injured player for the Royals, who is now off the field on his own account.
He's one of their captains. Lineman, number 54. He's a senior, 5'10", 176 pounds.
Fourth down now for the Royals as we get back underway. Fourth and about 14. They'll be punting from their own end zone, right on the line.
And Johnny is saying, kick it to me.
He is, of course, the only man back, standing on his own 45. So give me another chance.
Everybody else for the Braves is within about 5-6 yards of the line of scrimmage. Manza's back all by his lonesome, but looks like this kick will come from about the 5. Ooh,
low snap, bobbled. He's not even going to get this off. He's buried in the back in the end zone for a safety. Low snap, couldn't get a handle on it. Finally just had to fall on it.
Wanda Luna comes jogging through and taps him on the shoulder, and so he'll get credit for the safety. JV team had 2 safeties in the first quarter, so the varsity's lagging a bit here.
Well, the good news is that's 2 points for the Braves. That makes up for the 2 missed PATs. So now we've got a normal score. It's 28-7. See how things work out. So 2 points for the Braves, and they will receive the free kick from the 20. Safeties are good for that. You get the score, and then you get the ball back right after that as well. So it's a double whammy. Ooh, a little double dip.
A whammy. It's almost like Joker's Wild.
Something like that.
Whammy.
28-7 now. Traditional football score. 49.9 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And the Royals set to do the free kick from the 25. It is a nice high kick. Fielded at the 40-yard line. It's
a punt version.
Yep. Canley sweeping across to the near side.
Oh.
Gets to the 50. Now looking for a block.
He's got a seam.
Getting to the 30. Out of bounds, I believe. Yes, out of bounds at the 23.
Just barely.
Number 20, Dallas Canley on the return.
He took Zach at about the 39 of Lompoc. And they came all the way across the field and was headed down the left sideline, and they just did get him to step half a foot out of bounds. Otherwise, he was gone.
It's about a 40-yard return for Dallas Canley. He sets the Braves up at the 24-yard line, first and 10. 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Plenty of time for the Braves to score. They only seem to take one play from scrimmage. And the Royals will stop the clock using their final timeout of the half with 45.3 seconds remaining. Not often you see a team use all 3 in the first quarter.
No, it's not often you see a team score 35 in the first quarter.
That's true, too. 28 so far. Braves looking for another 6 or 7 here.
I think they'd prefer the 7.
Yeah, I think so too. And I just prefer talking about Lompoc Community Bank, another one of our fine sponsors. Thank you so much to all the folks over at LCB for being with us tonight and all season long. Lompoc Community Bank. Well, Mike.
Well, should mention we talk about the game announcers and the PA people and the officials and stuff, but there's a lot of people involved in making a game like this happen. From Jody in the studio to the ladies selling 50-50 tickets and taking tickets at the gate and all kinds of folks involved here. And it's nice to see a community activity that everybody can get involved with.
And we do have a full house here tonight, at least on the home side.
Yeah. Kind of sparse over on the far side.
Across the way, you got what, about 50 or so?
Yeah, maybe 75.
75, yeah. Okay, first and 10 Braves. Nick's under center, picks the handoff, throwing across the middle, and picked off at the 6-yard line.
Threw it right to number 55, who was covering Jimmy Gardner, and Gardner had 5 yards on him.
Pass just underthrown.
Yeah, and Jonesy's talked about Xavier being a little inconsistent at times, and that was one of them.
Yeah, had Gardner. Yep.
First and 10 for the Royals from the 7-yard
Had
line.
Gardner, if he just could have lofted it over that defender, we'd be talking another PAT right now. But as it is, it's first down for the Royals from their own 7.
Picked up about 2 yards on the return.
So one receiver wide to the top.
37.9 seconds remaining here in the first.
First turnover of the night.
Ooh.
And they're going to have another safety. There you go, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
You're caught up with the JV now.
And guess who that was? Ruben Cortez.
Attaboy, Ruben. Ruben Cortez, number 21, in the backfield, in the end zone for the safety. And give the Braves 2 more. It's now 30-7. And another free kick coming up by the Royals with, I guess what you would call back-to-back safeties.
Yeah. Close to it anyway.
That you don't see very often either. Lots of things going on tonight we don't see very often.
33.7 seconds, and so Lompoc started their possession with 45. So in 12 seconds, we've had a turnover, a safety, and a sack, and another punt.
This one will be fielded by
Manzo at the 33.
He's heading right up the middle across midfield, looking for a block to the 40, breaks through to the 30, trying to get to the corner, 20, 10. This time he's in. Flags on the field? No. Touchdown, Braves.
And there was a hellacious block by Leandre Coleman at about the 5. He just bounced his guy into the end zone.
Well, that's the second time Manzo's put it into the end zone tonight. The first one didn't count. This one will go on the board. 36-7. BAT coming up. The Braves scoring pretty much every way imaginable, Mike.
Yeah, and that technically is a punt return.
Point after is up. This one looks good. It is good. So we've still got 20.8 seconds left in the first quarter. It is now Lompoc 37, San Marcos 7. And what has been an event-filled first 12 minutes, I would say.
Yeah. It's definitely been different.
37-7.
And guess what, Greg? Had it not been for that long run for San Marcos, we'd be looking at a running clock right now.
In the first quarter.
In the first quarter.
Well, I got a sneaking suspicion that we'll find it in the next 12 minutes somewhere.
I would not be at all surprised.
Jose Silva set to kick off again for the Braves. Who's out there for Lompoc? We got Coleman. We got
the usual kickoff crew for the most part.
Canley, Jelani Henderson's out there, and the kick is a low liner once again, fielded by one of the up men at the 17.
32 pitched it back to Messino, who
gets tackled immediately at the 19.
He got hit right around where the ball was fielded. So, and that was number 45 for the Braves with a nice tackle. That's Colin Rainey. Been playing some at tight end.
Messino has been the return man for every Lompoc kickoff, and I think he's got a total of about, 10 yards in return yardage, maybe? So the Royals will put 3 receivers out, 2 here to the short side, 1 up top.
16.3 to go here in the first.
From the shotgun, looking left, pulls it down, gets away from one tackler in the backfield, but doesn't get away from Coleman. And Coleman will bring him down at the 19 for a loss of about a yard.
Number 10 on the carry for San Marcos.
Yeah, we'll see if they call that a sack or not in the official stats. But,
they'll have to decide that later because the first quarter is over. Zeros on the clock, 12 minutes in the books. And that was a long first quarter, an interesting first quarter, a strange first quarter. But the way it ends up, it is Lompoc 37, San Marcos 7. You're listening to Lompoc Braves football on your home for local sports, your local community radio station, 100.9 KPEG.
The Braves Radio Network.
That was Mike Loney. I'm Greg Ratcliffe. Judy's back at the studio, and we're having a great time bringing you some football tonight. Hope you're enjoying it. We're going to finish up what we were talking about just a bit earlier, the Lompoc's upcoming schedule. We talked about Rigetti.
And they're trailing 17-0 now to Dos Pueblos.
Okay.
Good night for Andrew Jones' best man.
After the Rigetti home game, the Braves will be on the road to Templeton on the 29th. Back-to-back road games as they go to Pioneer Valley on the 6th. Then they'll take a week off for their bye and come back home for the San Ynez Pirates on the 20th. St. Joseph on the 27th, and then the big game on the 3rd of November against Cabrillo. Cabrillo being the home team this year.
And St. Joe is up 14-6 on St. Bonaventure.
Wow. That's a wow worthy, isn't it?
That's a wow worthy. Yeah. Although not quite as much as it would have been a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see some subs out there on the field. They just moved Jimmy Gardner up and Villalobos back.
Shotgun formation. Quick pass here to the left flat. Complete but out of bounds quickly at about the 23-yard line.
Complete to number 82, Paul Ingram.
Some positive yardage, however. That's a good thing for the Royals. It'll be a 3rd down and about 7.
Call it a 5-yard pickup, making it 3rd and 6 for the Royals.
Yeah. Ingram, who caught that ball, is 6'6", 200 pounds.
That's a good-sized young man. And he is out wide left. 2 receivers up top from the shotgun again. Rolling right. Under pressure, Coleman trying to track him down. Throws incomplete on the far sideline.
And they were rolling him out to the right side. Coleman was coming from his left. And he just did manage to get that ball in the air, and it was thrown wide, partially because Coleman had his arm.
So I think Coleman's footsteps were felt and heard in that regard. Incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 7 from the 23.
And we should note, Coleman is a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 2 more years, and he's going to be, well, he's already good. He's going to be really good. And guess who's back to return the punt, Greg?
It is 4th and 7, and that is number 35, Toa Tao, standing on the 40-yard line.
I guess Johnny had his shot.
Snap, the kick is away. This one's a little shorter. It'll bounce it about midfield. Tawa will let it go, and it'll be down at the 43.
They were definitely kicking away from him. I think that was actually intended to go out of bounds, but it took kind of a weird hop and then headed downfield for about another 5 yards.
I think if it had bounced a little differently, Toa had designs on maybe picking that one up and going.
Yeah, he was in full bullet mode, and it just kind of died on him a little. If it had taken another high hop, he was grabbing it and going.
Well, he'd be dancing in the end zone at the moment. But as it is, it's 1st down Braves from their own 44-yard line. 11:36 left in the second quarter. The Braves up 37-7.
7th possession of the game for the Braves.
3 receivers to the top for Lompoc. Tao will get the carry. Every time he's touched the ball, he's scored a touchdown.
Oh, goodness.
And he's going to do it again.
Oh,
he's at the 30, 20.
At the block.
He's gone.
Oh.
Touchdown, Braves.
Touchdown, Braves.
And Shamar Savage took his guy 35 yards downfield and was looking up and was like, hey, where'd everybody go? And then he noticed Tala dancing in the end zone.
And I don't believe anybody got even a finger on Toa. It's now 43-7. Point after coming up. Good snap. Kick is away. This one's right up the middle.
The extra point by Silva is good.
So I think we can officially say the route is on. It's Lompoc 44, San Marcos 7. That was the final score last week. I'll take that back. That was the final score in week 1.
Yeah.
42-7 last week. Well, the Braves have already
And
equaled their.
We're 35 seconds into the second quarter. And you know what else that means, Greg?
We are eligible for a running clock. Will we have one yet? That is the question. We will be keeping our eyes on the officials down at field level. They are the ones that would indicate such.
Former Lompoc track star Jake Brown running the clock up here in the booth today.
Hey.
And
Now at this stage, it would have to be an agreement by both coaching staffs to go to a running clock at this early. In the fourth quarter, it's up to the officials. Kickoff, fielded at the 6. Up the far hash mark, and 1, 2, 3 Braves wrapping up at about the 20.
Jimmy Gardner in there, and number 84, Mr. Jacob Hunt again.
So the Royals will take over once again, this time at their own 20-yard line. They've been haven't been the recipient of a very good field position to start any of their positions.
First and 10 for the Royals from the 20-yard line.
They've had basically one good play that put them in scoring position. They gave them 7 points after a little dump pass over the top. Other than that, it's been all Braves tonight. Back to pass, scrambling to the right. This one will be thrown incomplete down the far sideline.
Yeah. Giovanni Lucatero in hot pursuit of the quarterback.
Savage on coverage over there. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 for the Royals.
Should be noted the clock is stopped. So no running clock as of yet.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, 2 receivers to the near side. Give it to the lone deep back, and he will go nowhere in a hurry.
He will find the green grass of Houck Stadium. That was 71 in there. Stopping Schaefer. That was Jeremiah Garcia and Henderson on the stop.
Loss of about 3. More negative rushing yardage. 3rd and 13 now. And if not for that one big run here in the first quarter, I'm quite sure the Royals would probably be in the negative rushing yardage right now.
Yeah.
3 receiver set. 1 up top, 2 to the near side from the shotgun. Snap is high in the end zone. We could have another safety. Nope, we have a touchdown covered by the Braves. Quarterback couldn't get on it. Who covered it for Lompoc, Mike?
I guess.
Was that Ruben?
That was Ruben.
Number 21, Ruben Cortez on the spot to cover the ball in the end zone. He caused the safety on the other end. Now recovers the fumble in the end zone for a Braves touchdown. Ruben Cortez getting it done for Lompoc. And that makes it, are you ready for this? 50-7. Point after coming up.
10:18 remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, there's nothing going the Royals' way. Kick is up. The kick is good. 10 minutes. 18 seconds left until halftime, and it is 51-7 Braves.
And for the Royals right now, the light at the end of the tunnel is an oncoming freight.
Mm-hmm. And it's blue and white. Let's take a minute to thank another one of our sponsors, Larry, the pizza guy over at the Pizza Garden. Thank you so much, Larry, for being with us tonight and all season. Appreciate your support of local high school football and local community-based radio. The Pizza Garden. Thank you so much.
And there for a minute, I thought I was going to see my fifth safety of the day.
Now that would be a record.
Yeah.
That snap just was too high for anybody to handle.
That was a high snap for low-flying aircraft. That was.
The quarterback just could not get back there in time to cover it up. Ruben put on the Jets and beat him to it.
Yeah, well, the quarterback was going back and the ball was kind of bouncing around. And
we have now just got an official signal from the field. It is a running clock, ladies and gentlemen, at the 10:15 mark of the second quarter. I'm not sure, but I think that is a new KPEG record.
No, it was 6:38 last week. Uh-oh.
Here's the return, breaking out to the near side, and then gets straightened up at the 35-yard line. You may get to the 35, but you go no farther than that.
Number 3, Emmanuel Acevedo on the return, met by number 5, Ryan Morgan.
And Ryan Morgan stood him up straight at the 35.
First and 10 for the Royals.
So the Royals will take over. They'll spot it officially at the 36. It'll be first down Royals from that point. Clock running now here in the second quarter. 9:30 left until halftime. Running clocks in the second quarter. My goodness.
And, well, the good news for the Royals is that Coleman is coming out of the game. The bad news is his replacement is Toatawa.
That's just a no-win scenario right there.
Yeah, it is.
From the shotgun, fakes the handoff. Quarterback will keep it and weave his way out to about the 33.
And I think he's going to reconsider that decision because the guy who met him was Toatawa.
Put it at the, where are you? 39.
And Coleman back in. Said, okay, you got to tackle.
3 yards on the carry, 2nd and 7 from the 39. A lot of starters still in the game for the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Canley's in there. Coleman, as you said.
Well, the experience of the depth is fairly questionable for the Braves. So.
And off up the middle, stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. There's 5 blue shirts all over him.
We are seeing some subs in there. Number 27, Jesus Corrales, is in there at the linebacker spot.
No gain on the play. 3rd down. Scoreboard says 8. We'll go along with 3rd and 8. That's all right. Yeah, one of the things Coach has been talking about in our interviews pregame has been the depth and the need for the 2s and the 3s to step up and take over when the starters sit down in situations like this.
Yeah. It's a number of these Braves players who are going both ways, and they
3 receivers to the right. This will be incomplete. They're to the near sideline.
It was a real nice throw to the photographers over on the side. Trying to hit...
Ingram, I think, was the intended receiver.
Yeah, well, he was over in the area, so was Massino.
Kind of fell in between the 2 of them.
There was some pressure again. Sosa was kind of running for his life. Perez. So you've got 2 number 10s.
4th down and 8, and a punting situation again for the Royals. Who's back to receive this time? It looks like Shamar. Is that right?
Could be. Give everybody a chance here.
Nice high kick.
And he's got a huge lane over to the wide right.
No, that's Dallas Canley.
Yeah, then flag down.
And Canley is down at the 42.
Number 20, Dallas Canley, is met by number 3, Emmanuel Acevedo, amongst others. There is a flag.
Acevedo on the stop, but Canley took the ball from about the 28 out to the 44 or 43.
We'll check the penalty. Looks like this is going to be a holding call against Lompoc on the return. Good news is it didn't go back for a touchdown, so at least it doesn't take points off the board. So they'll mark it back to the 34-yard line of Lompoc. That's where the Braves will take over. First and 10 with 5:45 left here in the first half, in a running clock for the Braves as they lead 51-7. Do not adjust your radio dial. You heard me correctly. 51-7.
We've talked about the Braves scoring half 100 before, but usually not until the second half.
Yes. 3 receivers up top. Savage now in motion.
Gave it to Ruben.
Ruben up the middle, gets across the 40 to the 42.
And he
slipped a little bit.
A short gain of 8 yards. The way the Braves have been running the ball tonight, that's practically minuscule.
Ruben looked a little bit hobbled as he came off the field.
Yeah, he's getting a drink and strolling down to the coaches, telling them, send me back in, coach.
Give Ruben 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the Lompoc 42.
And Morgan in, and he's trying to figure out. There were several of them that were looking over at the sideline like, what?
And the Braves will call timeout. Coach Jones will sort it out. That will stop the clock with 4:29 left here in the first half. The Braves holding on to a 51-7 lead.
And one of the things you have to remember is, even with the experience the Braves have, there's an awful lot of starters on this team who were sophomores.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And
that bodes well for the future.
It does bode well for the future, but it also means that sometimes there's some confusion out there.
I'll tell you one thing, though. After this season is over, we are going to lose a lot of really talented players to graduation.
Yeah.
I know that happens every year, but it's going to hit us a little
hard
harder.
to replace a trio like Tala, Savage, and Canley. Just to name a few to start with. Nick Jones over there at tackle is pretty darn good, too.
Don't forget Ruben.
Yeah.
Ruben's a senior this year as well.
He's kind of the Swiss Army knife on this team. He kind of, hey, we need somebody to do something we can.
Sweeping to the far side, that's Ryan Morgan. Breaks a tackle at the 30. A foot race to the 20. Guess what, folks?
No flags.
Touchdown, Braves.
Number 5.
Ryan Morgan on the sweep. Fake handoff in the inside. Tawa takes it around to the far side, runs down the sideline, breaks a tackle, and he's in the end zone. It is now 57-7.
4:21 remaining here in the second.
Clock does stop for point after.
Timeouts, scores, and injuries.
Injuries, that's it. Kick is away and good. 4 minutes, 21 seconds left in the first half. And it is now Lompoc 58, San Marcos 7. And the Braves are just making this look way too easy, Mike. Let's thank Rose Isaac of Anything Athletic and Rose's Embroidery. Thank you so much, Rose. I know I can count on you every single year. You support everything and anything athletic here in the Lompoc Valley, and we appreciate your support here tonight. Rose's Embroidery and Anything Athletic, thank you for supporting Lompoc football and Lompoc Community Radio.
On the Braves Radio Network. Templeton and Kern Valley are now tied up at 7. Both the Braves and Cabrillo will be taking on the Templeton Eagles later this season.
We will see Cabrillo take them on a week from tonight.
And St. Joe is up 21-6 on St. Bonaventure.
Kickoff picked up at about the 11, tries to get some room on the far side, and will get across the 25 to about the 27-yard
Number 3,
line.
Emmanuel Acevedo on the return, met first by number 84, Jacob Hunt.
Acevedo on the return this time.
And Jacob Hunt again with the stop. He's been racking up the special teams tackles.
26-yard line, first and 10 for the Royals from there.
Well, San Marcos will start at their own 26 this time, which I guess is a comparatively good starting position for them. 3:43 and counting here in the first half clock. And we have stoppage of play.
Number 23 in for the Braves. After
We have a 5-yard penalty against the Braves for having too many guys on the field, I think they could probably play with 10. 12's not necessary tonight. So 1st and 5 after the penalty. Positive yardage for the Royals. Low snap, picked up, handoff, straight up the middle. Nothing doing.
And only a loss of a yard.
When you only lose a yard in this circumstance, is that like positive yardage? Not really? Okay.
1-1 on the stop. Nose tackle position.
Okay, normally you lose 3 and you only lose 1. Isn't that like a +2?
Not quite.
Sort of? No? Okay.
It's just...
I'm trying to help.
Yeah. Jimmy Gardner out of the game, and number 25, David Galarza in at safety for the Braves.
2nd and 6. 3 receiver set. Quick throw over to the right. Complete, but out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
Pass from Anthony Simentalis to number 82, Paul.
That's Paul Ingram, the big receiver.
Simentalis is the quarterback. And normally wears number 20. But...
Ball's at the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Royals, who are in danger of making a first down.
Well, they did have one in the first quarter.
It's only 3rd and 1, Charles, but hey.
Let's not start a trend. 3 receivers. Back to pass again. This one is complete. Finding something that works, they'll stick to it. Same play again to Ingram. Completed pass on the far sideline, out of bounds, and that'll move the chains for the Royals. The ball will be placed at the 37-yard line. Approaching the 1-minute mark here in the second quarter. The clock does run quickly when they don't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
1st and 10 Royals from their own 37. 1 minute remaining till halftime. 3 receivers set back to the air under pressure. 3 Braves in the backfield. And finally run out of bounds.
By Lucatero.
Lucatero pushed him out. Big loss back to around the 30.
Number 20, Anthony Simentalis is forced out of bounds by number 42, Giovanni Lucatero. Makes it second
and 17 now for the Royals from their own 30.
Loss of 7 on that one.
Takes away all that positive yardage they had in the last set of downs.
And he was lucky to get what he did because he made a nifty move in the backfield to avoid a guy by the name of Coleman who came chugging in there, and Lucatero kept him from getting outside. But there was
DeAndre had a couple of friends with him as well.
Guys flying all over the place. Oh, goodness.
Quarterback buried in the backfield this time.
DeLuna just went nuts in the middle on that play, and he just threw guys away and
sack all the way back to about the 23, and that will bring the first half to an end, Mike. Mercifully, if you're a San Marcos Royal. 2 quarters, 1 half, 24 minutes in the books here at Houck Stadium tonight, and our score is Lompoc 58, San Marcos 7. 58-7, the Braves on top. Lompoc will head back to the locker room The Royals still gathered up over at their 20-yard line on their sideline, trying to figure out what train just ran over them.
Yeah, it was a big blue one.
All right, we got a 15-minute halftime coming up. We are going to send you back to the KPEG studios. So some wonderful, pertinent information about what's going on in the Lompoc Valley. And we will see you back for the second half, folks. Stick with us. You're listening to Lompoc Braves football on 100.9 KPEG.
The Braves Radio Network.
While the teams take a break, let's take a minute to tell you about this season's sponsors. These businesses stepped up to help the cause, and without their generous support, these broadcasts would not be possible. Thank you so much to The Box Shop, Frederick Quality Plumbing, Hammond Overhead Door, Lompoc Community Bank, The Pizza Garden, Rosa's Anything Athletic, Sunset Auto Center, The Surf Connection, Tom's, and Wilkerson Chiropractic. A heartfelt thanks to all of our sponsors for helping us to bring these games to our listeners. We hope you are enjoying tonight's live coverage of the Royals versus the Braves. Next week, it's a special football doubleheader. Tune in on Friday night when the Cabrillo Conquistadors will host the Templeton Eagles here at Houck Stadium. Then join us again for a special Saturday night edition of the Game of the Week when the Braves travel to La Playa Stadium to take on the Santa Barbara Dawn. Both games kick off at 7 o'clock with our pregame coverage beginning at 6:45. It's the Eagles versus the Conchs on Friday night, followed by the Braves versus the Dons on Saturday. And it's all right here on your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG.
I got smart about mortgages. Now, it's my house I go home to.
I got smart about college. Now my kid's off to a great start.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find it at smartaboutmoney.org.
I got smart about health insurance. Now both my finances and I are healthy.
Smartaboutmoney.org is a free online resource from the National Endowment for Financial Education. We're an independent nonprofit foundation dedicated to helping people just like you get sound information about money.
I got smart about protecting my job. Now, I'm doing better than ever.
For everything from how to build an emergency fund to how to deal with job uncertainty, smartaboutmoney.org has the answers you're looking for.
I got smart about credit cards. Now paper or plastic has a whole new meaning.
Smartaboutmoney.org, the easy place to start when you want to get smart.
Hey, football fans, do you have friends or family that live out of town but still like to follow Lompoc Valley football? Let them know that KPEG's game coverage is also streaming live on the web. Just send them to kpegradio.com and they can catch all of the action no matter where they are. That's kpegradio.com, brought to you by your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG. By now, you've probably figured out that KPEG is not your ordinary average radio station. In fact, we're anything but ordinary. First, you'll never ever hear a commercial on KPEG. We're all about the music. And how about that music? We play more music with more variety than any other station in the area. And not just the standard tunes you hear everywhere else. Sure, we play rock and oldies and your favorite classic rock songs, but we'll also introduce you to some deep tracks that you might not have heard. Some new rock, and even some bands that are a bit off the mainstream. That's what makes KPEG so unique. Well, that and our exclusive live sports coverage. But the point is that KPEG is different by design. Enjoy it. We're 100.9 KPEG.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, biking, fishing, or camping. Or do your own thing when you get there with family and friends. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The City Council meetings are your window into how Lompoc works. You can even speak to the council and let them know how you feel. But if you can't be there in person, you can always follow along on TAP TV, KPEG Radio, and the web at cityoflompoc.com. That's right. We'll be there on the first and third Tuesday of every month, bringing you all the comments, discussions, and votes. So tune in for a live trimulcast of your City Council meetings, only on TAP TV, KPEG Radio, and cityoflompoc.com.
You're listening to the Game of the Week on KPEG. It's halftime, so grab a snack, refresh your beverage, then settle back into your favorite chair. The second half kickoff is coming up soon, right here on 100.9 FM KPEG.
Hello, I'm Samantha Scroggin, Community Relations Manager with the City of Lompoc, and let's tune in to what's happening in Lompoc. The Lompoc Recreation Division's Fall Activity Guide is now available on the City of Lompoc's website at cityoflompoc.com and should be arriving in your mailboxes. The Recreation Guide is loaded with all the great classes and events taking place this fall in Lompoc. From cake decorating to youth basketball, we have something to suit every interest. Speaking of youth basketball, sign-ups are underway. We offer basketball leagues for 4-year-olds all the way up to 8th graders. Early bird registration runs through September 22nd at the Anderson Rec Center. Our annual Lompoc Valley Photography Contest this year will be held on Saturday, October 14th at the Dick DeWeese Community and Senior Center. Individuals interested in competing can do so by submitting photos between now and September 29th. For contest rules and an application, visit cityoflompoc.com or stop by the Anderson Recreation Center. Fall is almost here, but our Lompoc Aquatic Center still offers swim lessons and recreation swim hours on Saturdays and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Are you interested in becoming a Red Cross certified lifeguard? Our Recreation Division offers a course later this month that enables you to become a certified lifeguard. Visit cityoflompoc.com for details. School has started in the Lompoc Valley, and homework help is available at our Lompoc Public Library. Our homework club is held Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., and we will have free tutoring available. Check out cityoflompoc.com for more information. It's hard to believe, but the holidays will be here before we know it. Applications to participate in the Lompoc Valley Children's Christmas Season Parade are now available on the city's website, cityoflompoc.com. Remember, our very own KPEG will be providing live coverage of high school football games every Friday night. Be sure to follow the City of Lompoc on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for all of the latest news in the city. Thanks for joining us for this City of Lompoc news update. We'll see you next time when we tune in Lompoc.
Don't have a car? Too far to walk? Bike in the shop? Welcome aboard Colt, the City of Lompoc Transit. Sit back and let us do the driving. Colt serves the communities of Lompoc, Mission Hills, and Vandenberg Village. We offer comfort, low fares, convenience, free transfers, and great service. For more information and free trip planning assistance, give us a call at 736-7666 or visit us on the web at cityoflompoc.com/transit.
Rich is just a really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich? No. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I shop and cook for my mom every week.
I help my dad pay his bills.
I take my wife to the doctor.
Am I a caregiver?
Are you caring for a senior parent, spouse, or friend? Do you spend time helping with meals, shopping, or personal care? Are you stressed? Do you have less time for yourself? You are not alone. Nearly 1 in 6 people in Lompoc are caregivers. Visit caringtogetherlompoc.org or call 925-9554.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cold time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Do you love to swim? Do you think about swimming even when you aren't swimming? Well, we've got a publication for you. A poolside publication. Just surf on over to the Lompoc Parks and Rec webpage and click on Poolside Publication. That's cityoflompoc.com/parks_rec. You can sign up to have Poolside Publication emailed to you every week. You'll stay up to date on the Lompoc Aquatic Center, get to know the staff, and learn a thing or two about water safety. That's Poolside Publication, brought to you by the Lompoc Aquatic Center.
Hey Lompoc, now that your newest, bestest, most favoritist radio station is up and running, why not put us to work? If your organization has a nonprofit event or fundraiser coming up, let KPEG help spread the word. Just submit your public service announcement at least 2 weeks in advance and we'll handle the rest. Call us at 875-2750 for details. That's 875-2750. After all, KPEG is your community radio station. Serving you is what we do. You're listening to the Game of the Week on KPEG. It's halftime, so grab a snack, refresh your beverage, then settle back into your favorite chair. The second half kickoff is coming up soon, right here on 100.9 FM KPEG. The Southern California Gas Company is replacing a natural gas pipeline along Highway 1 here in Lompoc. Although customers are not expected to experience any natural gas service interruptions, during construction, one northbound and one southbound lane of Highway 1 will be closed just north of the airport. Lane closures will be in effect Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., again Monday through Thursday nights from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., and on Fridays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Work begins on July 10th and will continue through the month of October. For questions or concerns about the construction project, contact SoCal Gas at 1-800-427-2200.
So you see, son, good manners are very, very important. Someday, many years from now, when you're a grown-up, you'll be a man. And when you are, you should be a gentleman. Do you want me to go through it one more time?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If a door's shut, then knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't speak with your mouth full, don't reach across people's plates, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. While we're at it, don't stare, don't use foul language, don't call people names, but do remember people's names. Always share your toys, play nice, and cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give up your seat to anyone who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
The World Wide Web has many things to offer, and one of those things is Tap TV. Just surf your browser to cityoflompoc.com/taptv. Click on any one of our 3 channels and you'll see original, locally produced television. Between shows, we have a bulletin board loaded with announcements and events in Lompoc, with rockin' KPEG radio as the soundtrack. It doesn't stop there. You can make your own TV show. Just stop by the Lompoc Media Center at 125 West Walnut on the 3rd floor of the Anderson Rec Center, and we'll show you how.
We hope you are enjoying tonight's live coverage of the Royals versus the Braves. Next week, it's a special football doubleheader. Tune in on Friday night when the Cabrillo Conquistadors will host the Templeton Eagles here at Houck Stadium. Then join us again for a special Saturday night edition of the Game of the Week when the Braves travel to La Playa Stadium to take on the Santa Barbara Dawn. Both games kick off at 7 o'clock with our pregame coverage beginning at 6:45. It's the Eagles versus the Conchs on Friday night, followed by the Braves versus the Dons on Saturday. And it's all right here on your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG. And welcome back to Houck Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, where the Lompoc Braves lead the San Marcos Royals by a score of 58-7 at half. We're getting ready to start the 3rd quarter.
San Marcos getting set to receive
It's
the
been
second half kickoff.
quite the show for the Lompoc Braves, Mike.
And in case you were wondering, yes, San Marcos has shown up for the second half.
Yes, they are on the field. That's the good news.
The Braves are kind of milling around, everybody on the kickoff team kind of introducing themselves to all the new folks who are out there.
I suspect we will see some clean uniforms and some new numbers out there in the second half. We are, in case you're just joining us, in a running clock. We started that a few minutes into the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, number 17 will be kicking off for the Braves, which is a little unusual. That's Drew Galindo. Oh,
I see one familiar number out there. Coleman's out there. And, there's Canley. Tenorio.
Yeah.
David Galarza. And the kick is away. End over end kick. Field at about the 11.
And that's
Messino again, I believe.
Yeah. And
he'll get across the 20 to about the 23 before he's brought down.
Number 6.
Canley and Coleman, I think, in there for the stop for the Braves.
45, Colin Rainey.
Number 45, Colin Rainey as well.
First and 10 from the 20.
So the Royals will take over first and 10 at their own 23.
Lompoc's the Royals' 10th possession of the game.
Scored courtesy of one big run and a quick pass there in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm. Two very nicely executed plays, but that's about all they've been able to do.
From the shotgun are the Royals. 4 receivers passing all the way. This one will be over the head of everybody about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, they were trying to hit Tommy Schaefer out there. And
Galindo out in coverage for the Braves, and that one just skied over everybody's head. Incomplete pass brings up second down and 10, but it does not stop the clock. That's the good news. 58-7 our score. The Braves are clinging to a 51-point lead here in the third.
Yeah, clinging into the half 100. Mark?
From under center this time, 2 receivers set. Back to the ground game go the Royals. That's Tommy Schaefer on the carry. He'll get out to the 25.
Tommy Schaefer on the carry. Several Braves in on the tackle.
Positive yards anyway. Third down and about 8.
Including number 27, Jesus.
Positive yards, both of them.
Better than the dreaded retrograde motion that we've seen most of the evening from them.
This is
and 8 for the Royals.
The largest amount of points that Lompoc has ever scored against San Marcos. First time it's not the most points they've ever scored. On November 11th, 2013, they had an 80-28 win over Napomo.
Incomplete pass. Schaefer, the intended receiver.
Tenorio was in coverage and the pass was wide, and Tenorio was able to just get a couple fingertips on it, but he couldn't reel it in.
That'll bring up fourth down and 8 and a punting situation for the Royals, one they have been in any number of times tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And who have we got back deep, Mike?
I don't know. We have to get the punt off first. It's been problematic for them tonight. And that's Morgan.
Ryan Morgan fields the ball on the fly and gets out to about the 44-yard line.
Yeah, Mama Morgan was quite happy, and with his one touchdown performance in the first half, he took that at
number 5, Ryan Morgan on the return, brought down by number 3, Emmanuel Acevedo at the 40.
Acevedo on the stop. He's been busy tonight.
Yes, indeed. First down, Braves from their own 43. Clock running down to 8:40 remaining here in the third quarter. This will be a very quick third quarter. Let me tell you about another one of our sponsors, Sunset Auto Center. Thank you much to Cheryl and George Bedford for coming on board with us this year. We appreciate your support of Lompoc football and Lompoc Community Radio. Sunset Auto Center. Thank you so much.
And they'll start this at the 43-yard line.
Running play straight up the middle of the San Marcos defense across the 45 to the 46.
Off to number 24, Drew Williams for a 4-yard pickup, making it 2nd and 6 for the Braves.
Drew Williams picks up 4 right at the middle and taking a handoff from Mr. Sparrow, who is coming in relief.
Okay. Declan Sparrow, number 16, doing the QB duties for the Braves here in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
High formation. 2 receivers up top.
And they're pretty basic right now.
Drew Williams.
Again, and he tried to bounce outside and didn't get there.
Number 24.
Not much of a bounce.
On the carry once again, brought down by number 50.
Give him 1. Third down and 5 from the 48 on the Braves side of the field.
David Kaseblian on the stop, number 55.
1-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 5 for the Braves.
He did. They're going to say he did get a yard on that one, so it'll be 3rd and 5.
Sparrow comes in with the play. Wonder if he's related to Jack.
I don't know.
3rd down and 5. Sparrow under center. Delay.
Ooh,
nice little move there by
nice
Drew
cut.
Williams. Gets very close to the marker.
Mm-hmm. nice cut to pick up a couple more yards.
And they'll give him enough to move the chains. Mike, first down for the Braves at the San Marcos 47-yard line.
Looks like he was brought down by number 24, Matt Henson.
Already approaching the halfway mark here in the third quarter.
Ball's at the 47-yard line.
Williams will come out. Sparrow comes back in with the play. First down Braves now in San Marcos territory. They'll send two receivers over here to the near side. Once again, I formation with Sparrow under center.
Galindo and
Deep back gets the carry across the 45 inside down to the 43-yard line.
Number 8,
Oscar Tenorio on the carry. You'll get about 4, maybe 5.
I think that's his second carry of the year.
We'll give him 5 on that one. 2nd and 5 from the 42.
5-yard pickup, making it 2nd and 5 for the Braves.
Tenorio will come out.
And we're seeing a bunch of new numbers out there.
Well, that's good. Get the 2s and 3s out there for, a good 24 minutes worth of playing time.
Well, at least 12 minutes worth with the clock running. But nice cut.
Oh, that's Williams. Cuts it inside to the 20. Going to get dragged down inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Drew Williams showing some nice moves.
Number 24, Drew Williams on the carry for a Lompoc Brave. First down.
And Drew is a junior, so
far the Subs doing a nice job on this possession. First and goal from the 9-yard line.
5:15 on that first down.
Tenorio now back in. Williams will come out after a nice gain. Two receivers up top. Let's stick to the ground game. That's Tenorio up the middle. 5. Touchdown Braves. Oscar Tenorio, number 8, from 9 yards out. And the Braves are on the board again.
And the cheerleaders are huddling to try and decide, do we really want to do this?
Do we really want to kick 50, 60, 66 times? Point after is up. The point is good.
4:38 remaining here in the third.
4:38 remaining in the third quarter. The Braves on the board once again. It's now Lompoc 65, San Marcos 7. Mike, you mentioned the all-time scoring high for the Braves was 80, I believe.
I can't think of a higher one than that. They're kind of keeping me busy here, going back through the pages of the binder. But I don't recall one higher than that. But
that's the highest one I recall. Braves 15 points shy of that tonight, and who knows?
A lot of time left.
Yep, we got almost a quarter and a half, and the cheerleaders have decided to do it. They're kicking 65 times.
There's going to be some sore cheerleaders at the end of it.
Yeah.
They did not run down to do the formation at behind the.
Well, they wouldn't have time to kick 65 and do that too. See, you got to make a choice.
Yeah, that's probably what that conference was about.
As the Braves kick off, let's talk to you about the Surf Connection, another one of our fine sponsors tonight. Thank you to Robin and Dave for their support of Lompoc Braves football and Lompoc Community Radio. The Surf Connection, thank you so much for being with us tonight and all season long.
Acevedo came cutting across and took the ball away from his compatriot back there and kept chucking up the left side and had a pretty nice return.
Out to the 38.
Before Galindo finally shoved him out of bounds.
Good field position for the Royals to start off this possession with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. They'll have first and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Braves leading 65-7.
And we're under 4 minutes finally.
We could say that they have this one comfortably in hand.
Yeah, I think they may be able to squeak this one out, Greg.
Quick pitch.
Back
That's
to Schaefer.
He'll try to find some room on the far side and won't find much, if anything at all.
He found a lot of blue jerseys.
That's not a new discovery for him tonight either. He's found that a few times.
Jesus Corrales, I think, led the charge over there.
Give Schaefer 1 yard to the 39, make it 2nd and 9.
Indeed. Tenorio, Matthew Dondero out there. David
Galarza's there. That's right. 2 receivers. Fake the handoff, rolling to his right, throwing on the run. This one will be overthrown.
That time, it was
Simentalis, the intended receiver.
Yeah, tried to hit.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 9. Galarza back there in coverage. Who else is back there? Jacob Dela Cruz.
Third and long here for the San Marcos Royals.
Matthew Dondero in for the Braves. 3 receivers set for San Marcos, operating from the shotgun. Quick drop. Pass complete across the middle to Schaefer. He'll get close to midfield, Mike, and that should be enough to move the sticks.
Finally stopped by Jacob De La Cruz, number 10 for the Braves.
So a nice positive play for the San Marcos Royals. They'll get out to their own 49, and they'll get a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10.
And they're in danger of penetrating Braves territory for the 2nd time in this game, right? They ran a grand total of 1 play from there.
Yeah, the big run started on their side of the play, on the side of the field, and then the touchdown play after that.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you consider the extra point,
well,
they're run 2 plays, but
again from the shotgun, they'll go back to the ground game. That's Schaefer.
Gave it to Schaefer, and he bounces it outside left, and it was a nifty run.
Got about 5 or so, maybe 6 out to down to the Lompoc 45.
Finally forced out of bounds.
Yeah, they'll end up putting it at the 47, actually, so not quite as good as we thought, but almost 4 yards on the carry. We'll call it 2nd and 6.
Well, for them tonight, a 4-yard pickup on 1st down is huge.
Yes. Clock running. We've got less than a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. My, it flies in a hurry. 2 receivers here to the near side of the field, 1 up top next to the San Marcos sideline. Again, operating from the shotgun, 1 lone back. Fakes the handoff to Schaefer, rolling right, throws on the run. This one again incomplete. Intended this time for Mark Herrera at the 40.
Yeah, bounce pass. Receiver was double covered.
That would have been a real nice pass in basketball.
Yeah, De La Cruz and Rainey on the cover.
3rd down and 6. Ball at the Brave 47-yard line. And that will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, Mike. That's about as close to 12 minutes in real time as you can get.
Yeah.
3 quarters in the books here at Houck Stadium tonight. Our score is Lompoc 65, San Marcos 7. And you are listening to Lompoc Braves football on your home for local sports, 100.9 KPEG.
With
Greg Ratcliffe here along with Mike Loney at Houck Stadium. Judith E. Baker working the dials back at KPEG Control. Don't forget, you can also tell your friends from out of town, your friends and family, if they're out of earshot of KPEG Radio, you can always catch it on the web. Just go to www.kpegradio.com. You can check it out there.
On the Braves Radio Network.
That's Mike.
He's Greg. And we're at Houck Stadium watching the Big Blue Machine.
And it is a machine.
A steamroller for the San Marcos Royals tonight. Royals facing 3rd and a long 6 here as we change ends. But I have a feeling they go for it on 4th down here, Greg.
I wouldn't be surprised. From the shotgun, 3 receiver set, 2 up high, 1 here to the shallow side. Quick 3-step drop. Throw is incomplete at the 40-yard line. Sementalis, the intended receiver.
Yeah, now we've got quarterback throwing the quarterback. And still not completing it.
Incomplete, brings up 4th and 6, ball at the 47-yard line. Now we'll see if your prediction is correct, Mike.
Well, they bring out Sementalis and bring back in number 82, Paul Ingram, the 6'6", 200-pounder senior. So,
all right, Joey Perez brings in the play.
So we've got Messino and Schaefer out wide right, and then Ingram, the lone end on the left.
Aaron snap, picked up though. Throw is complete. Breaks a tackle at the 15. Touchdown, Royal.
And he just ran straight down the field. And
that was Paul Ingram, the lone receiver here on the near side. As you said, just ran straight down the sideline.
And the Braves didn't really react on that. A bunch of newbies in there.
Got a couple of steps behind the defense, made a nice catch, broke a tackle at about the 15, and then went on in for the score. So it's 65-13 with the point after coming up.
And Greg, Lompoc's been outscored here in the 4th quarter.
That's the first time we've been able to say that this year. See, early in the first quarter, they had more first downs than Lompoc did. Kick is good. We've got 11:08 remaining in the game. Our score has changed. It's Lompoc 65, San Marcos 13.
And an interesting side note on that, the holder for the extra point was Paul Ingram.
Yeah. The man who scored the touchdown.
Yeah, you don't see a 6'6" holder very often.
Okay, so we had a penalty. Apparently, the point after will be redone. Back up San Marcos 5 yards, and we'll try this one more time. And you're right, Mike, that's an unusual sight to see a 6'6" kick holder back there in the backfield.
A fairly short kicker, and it's almost like when Ingram's kneeling on the ground, he's about the same height as the kicker.
And the second time also a charm. The kick is through and good. So 65-14 is our score. And the San Marcos Royals have their rally caps on.
Yeah, they need a closet of caps.
Did you have a score from the Cabrillo game, Mike?
Yes, I did. Wrote it down somewhere here. Santa Maria was leading 23-10 at halftime. And we've got St. Joe is now up 28-6 on St. Bonaventure.
Wow. Go Knights.
Yeah. That should help the LPL rankings a bit.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget, we will be back here at Elk Stadium next week when the Tipton Eagles come to visit the Cabrillo Conquistadors. Our first Cabrillo broadcast of the season. We're happy to do so. And then the very next night, on Saturday, we'll be traveling to Santa Barbara, down to Santa Barbara City College, where the Lompoc Warriors will be taking on the Santa Barbara Dogs.
And we have a bunch of subs on the kick return here. We've got Tenorio over on the left side. Drew Williams is deep middle. And the ball will come to him.
Williams has got it, picks it up on the fly, gets a block at the 40, sprinting down the near sideline, breaks another tackle, and finally gets tackled at the 21-yard line in San Marcos territory. What an excellent return by number 24, Drew Williams.
Number 24, Drew Williams on the return, brought down by number 4, San Marcos.
25, 45, that's 60 yards on that return for Williams?
Just about.
See that? I did that quick math in my head, Mike.
Yes. And we're down to 10.5 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Clock running here in the fourth. We've had a running clock since the second quarter. 65-14 is the score. The Braves' 2s and 3s will come out with excellent field position. Let's see what they can do about putting some more points on the board. Declan Sparrow, under center. Hands off to Williams. He doesn't even get a chance to catch his breath after that return. He's back out on the field and picks up a nice gain down to about the 14.
Pickup of about 6.
I think they'd at least give him a chance to catch his breath, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, except he probably didn't want to come out because he doesn't want Tenorio getting another touchdown before he gets one.
Well, he's out now to take a break.
And Tenorio in. So he's Reichel in at fullback.
That's Tenorio on the carry. Short gain down to about the 13-yard line.
Tenorio on that carry.
It'll be a third down and a long 2.
Third and 2 for Braves.
Drew Williams will come back in now. The running back carousel continues regardless of where you are in the lineup sheet. 2 receivers, one in the slot. That is Espinoza wide right. Keep the ball on the ground. That's Williams. Breaks a tackle to the 5. Touchdown, Braves.
And Drew Williams finally gets that touchdown he's looking for.
So the subs coming in and doing a fine job tonight.
Yep. 8:30 remaining in the game.
Clock stops for the score. It's 71-14 with the point after coming up. They do need a holder, however. Okay, here comes Ruben.
Yeah, they're sending a tackle out there too.
A couple of guys short. Kick is away. The kick is good. I'm surprised there wasn't a penalty flag on there because that tackle wasn't set.
Well, I think the refs have decided it's about time to go home. So.
Yeah, that could easily have been flagged for false start. Anyway, 8:30 left in the game. I was going to call it a contest, but probably not.
No.
It's 72-14. The Lompoc Braves handily on top of the San Marcos Royals. You are listening to Lompoc Braves football on 100.9 KPEG.
On the Braves Radio Network.
That's Mike. I'm Greg. Judy's back at KPEG Control doing her thing.
Yep. Probably need to call and wake her up.
No, she's very busy, actually, putting up slides on the webcast, so she's got a lot to do over there. Yep. So the Braves
give her some work this week.
The Braves have come out of tonight 3-0, if I can be so bold as to predict they will hang on to this lead.
Yeah, don't think you're going out on too big of a limb there.
San Marcos will fall to 1-2.
Robert Alvarado out there on the field, along with Reichel.
There's the kickoff. Fielded on the run at about the 12-yard line, at the far hash mark.
Nice snap.
That's Vecino again, I believe, on the return. He'll get out across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Pretty much standard operating procedure for the Royals as far as starting field position.
8:10 remaining.
Mike, it should be noted that the Braves scored. The cheerleaders just now finished kicking 1 kick per point, and that was like 3 minutes ago.
At least.
Yeah, so that's how long it takes to kick 72 times.
Yep, they're going to be a little bit sore.
Yeah, they're young; they can handle it.
Anthony Casillas in as the one of the defensive backs.
Quickly stopped Steven Corona on the carry. Tackled in the backfield for loss of a couple.
I think that may have been Drew Williams.
Steven Corona on that carry for San Marcos.
He's certainly out there.
And they're at a linebacker spot, or linebacker safety. One of the key bugs in the amoeba defense.
Brave starters taking the second half off. They did their job and did it well in the first 24. Second and 11. Fakes the handoff, rolling right, throwing on the run once again. This one intended for Paul Ingram on the far side, falls short and incomplete.
He had a little bit of room to work with there at the first down marker and the boundary, but the pass was wide.
That's Joey Perez making the throws for the Royals right now. Third down after the incompletion.
3rd and 10. 6:20 to go here.
Approaching the halfway mark in the fourth and final quarter.
I think the one thing we can fairly confidently assert is that if Lompoc scores again, they probably will not be going for 2. So the 80-point against Napomo will likely hold up here.
Another quick pass out to Ingram. Same play, incomplete once again.
Yeah, except instead of being wide this time, it was a one hop short.
Do you think the Braves, are aware of that scoring record? Do they care? Do they know? Would they try?
Somebody on the coaching staff probably is aware of it. I'm fairly confident the kids do not, and the kids probably do not care.
Well, certainly none of these players were around when that happened. And,
in 2013, it's not ancient history, but it's a while back. Yeah. But I'm equally confident that the coaching staff has no desire to score anything that does not come organically, if you will. And
just get the punt away.
Almost got a punt block.
And this takes a nice Lompoc bounce.
Yeah.
And we'll end up at the Brave 48-yard line. That's where they'll take over. First and 10 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the game. As they switch sides, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors once again. Folks, we want to remind you, it's our sponsors that make these broadcasts possible, and we thank them very much. And when you see them, when you stop by their place of business, tell them thank you and tell them you heard about it on KPEG Radio. Our sponsors this year are the Box Shop, Friedrich Quality Plumbing, Hammond Overhead Door, Lompoc Community Bank, the Pizza Garden, Anything Athletic and Rose's Embroidery, Sunset Auto Center, the Surf Connection, Tom's Restaurant, and Wilkerson Chiropractic. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors for being with us all season long.
Drew Williams breaks about 6 tackles and picks up 2 yards.
Well, he certainly earned them.
Yes, he did. If you're wondering about the likelihood of seeing Cameron Iribarren today, you got here too late. He played the first half of the JV game, and so is ineligible to play.
Gotcha.
Varsity.
Clock running, 3:50 remaining in the game. 2 yards there, as you said, for Williams. It'll be a 2nd and 8. The ball right at the 50-yard line.
Actually, the Luke Gardner was quarterback for most of the second half. Performed admirably in the JV game.
Sparrow quarterbacking right now. He'll hand off to Cameron Iribarren, who will pick up a couple across midfield.
That was Robert Alvarado, number 4.
Okay, sorry.
We were talking about you.
Yeah, sorry, you got me on that one.
Yeah, pick up a 2.
Off the road, or over rocks and mountains. Imagine yourself.
3rd down and about 6. The ball at the 48.
And St. Joe is now up 35 to 7 on St. Bon. 35 to 12, excuse me.
3rd down and 6 for the Braves, under 3 minutes remaining. Straight up the middle to Drew Williams. Makes a nice little spin move and gets down to the 45. Gain of a couple.
So look no further than Sunset Auto Center for new vehicles.
It'll be about 4 yards to go.
You can also find them on the web at sunsetautocenter.com.
I would be absolutely stunned to see this ball in the air.
Sunset Auto Center player of the game is number 35, Toa Tawa.
Toa Tawa just announced as the Sunset Auto Center player of the game. Why not? Every time he touched the ball, I think he scored a touchdown, didn't he, Mike?
Pretty close to it.
Braves will go for it.
Ooh.
As Tenorio tackled by the ankles and gets down after a gain of 1 or so, but not enough. The Braves will turn it over on downs with a minute 45 left in the game.
First down, so it'll be a turnover on down.
That was
Royals take over at the 44-yard line.
That was a really nice tackle. He looked when he got the ball, it looked like he was going to at least pick up the first down and probably score.
As it is, the San Marcos Royals will take over first and 10 at their own 44. We've got a minute 20 left. 2 receivers, one to either side. Ingram on wide right. Rolling right, completed this time to Mark Herrera. He'll get across midfield and across the 45 to about the Lompoc 44 before he's brought down, and that'll be a first down for San Marcos. First and 10 from the Brave 44 with a minute remaining.
44-yard line by number 11, Anthony Casillas.
I think the Royals would like to score one more before it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. 3 receiver set. Ingram up top. Looking deep to Ingram down the far side. He's got him. Complete at the 5. Incomplete. Bubble. Oh, it looked like he had it.
Yeah, and he's frustrated with himself.
Boy, that ball was right on the money, too.
Yeah.
Incomplete, making it 2nd and 10.
But I'll tell you something, Mr. Ingram has nothing to be ashamed of for his performance tonight.
Nope, not at all. We got time for one more play. 15 seconds left. 3 receivers again. Ingram up top from the shotgun. They'll throw left this time. That's complete to Schaefer, tackled at the 34-yard line, and that ought to do it. Zeros across the board, Mark. This one is over. Final score, 72-14. And a dominant performance by the Lompoc Braves from start to finish.
Congratulations to the Braves on their victory tonight. Next week,
doesn't get much more dominant than that, Mike.
No.
The Santa Barbara Duns.
And if it does, I'm not really sure I want to see it. But
yeah, me too. Teams out at midfield, the traditional handshake after the game. And this was just top to bottom, beginning to end. Lompoc Braves
administering a whooping
at their best. And you know what I noticed? That we know they can score points. We know they got a strong defense. But what's missing tonight that we've seen the last couple of games from the Braves? Penalties.
Yes.
They cleaned that up.
Well, I have a feeling they've been hearing about it for a week or so.
Well, as Coach said, they do running drills for penalty yardage, and the more yardage they get in penalties, the more yards they run. So I don't think they want to do that.
Yeah, I think they just assume let the cheerleaders do
the kicks.
The hard work.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you what, the Braves looking pretty exceptional right now.
Yeah. So far, so good. Pardon me, I just hit the mic. This team has the potential to be really good. But there's some things they need to take care of. The depth needs to stop making mental mistakes.
As Coach said,
young.
As Coach said in the pregame interview, right now they're a good team. To be a great team, they need to be a little more mentally tough than they have been. And I think they made a step forward towards that tonight.
Yeah. Well, considering the fact that the last time until the renewal in last year, Lompoc had lost 7-0 to the San Marcos team. Last year they won 46-0. Looks like an interesting situation for us to be going into the same league as them next year.
Yes, that's a good point. Remember, the leagues will get turned upside down next year, with most of the Central Coast teams going up to CIF Central section. So the San Marcos Royals and those other Santa Barbara area teams will be in the same league with the Lompoc Braves next year. So it's going to be really interesting come next season.
Yeah, most of the teams you play in preseason will now be league, and
the other way around.
Assuming that we can still get some games from the Hawks.
Yep.
From the folks headed to Central section.
Not even sure if that's legally feasible anymore.
Well, you can play intersectional games. You can't play a whole lot of them, but you can play some. And so we may have to go down to Ventura County to get some games.
Well, we'll see how that all pans out. That's next season. Right now, the Braves are 3-0 this year and looking really, really good. Yeah. Their next game will be next Saturday night against the Santa Barbara Dons down in Santa Barbara. Our next game will be next Friday night right here at Houck Stadium when the Cabrillo Conquistadors host the Templeton Eagles.
And that should be a very competitive game.
That should be a pretty good one.
And the Braves have moved up to number 2 in the division in both the CIF poll and the Max Prep rankings and the Cal Prep rankings. So,
all right. Well, we'll see what tonight's victory does to that ranking as well.
Shouldn't hurt it much.
I wouldn't think so. All right. So for Judy back at the studio and Mike Loney to my right, my name is Greg Ratcliffe. Thank you so much for being with us and listening tonight. Our final score once again from Houck Stadium. It's the Lompoc Braves 72, the San Marcos Royals 14. We'll see you next Friday for Cabrillo and Templeton.
Did you say 72?
I did. Good night, everybody.